is everyone today? Happy hump day. Are you all having a good day? It's a little overcast this morning in Arizona, which we love. It's always a good thing. Cools it down just slightly. Oddly enough, we all seem to manage at 105, 110, but once it gets over that, we get a little fussy. So good morning. Have anyone over there on Facebook? Can you give me a holler? We're going to talk about vitamin A today, and I have a ton of surprising benefits of vitamin A that you may not be aware of. Really, it's amazing. I also have some little bit of biochemistry and physiology to talk to you about when it comes to vitamin A and how to know what kind to take, toxicity, that type of thing. So good morning. Thanks for joining. Good morning over there. Good morning over here. Okay, we got someone on both ends. That's great. Hopefully our internet holds up today. I'm Dr. Tricia Pingle. This is your morning checkup. It is Wednesday, hump day. I hope you are all having a fantastic day so far. Good morning. Thank you, guys. All right, your morning checkup. We're going to talk all about vitamin A. Now, vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. We've talked about some other fat-soluble vitamins, I believe. We've talked a little bit about vitamin K recently. We also have vitamin D and vitamin E that are the other fat-soluble vitamins. So I want to talk about this because there is a way to get it into your body without it being toxic. Because as you may have heard, fat-soluble vitamins always have the ability to become more toxic than water-soluble vitamins. So I want to talk to you about the benefits of vitamin A to your body, how you can take it in, how it's metabolized, those types of things. Sound fun? Yes. All right. First of all, many of the foods that I recommend, they're all plant-based, right? Avocados, mangoes, butternut squash, carrots, sweet potatoes, peaches, right? These are all things that are plant-based, that are healthy for you, but they are also loaded with beta carotene. Now, have you guys heard of beta carotene or carotenoids? So here's the thing. Let me give you some basic physiology about vitamin A, okay? First of all, vitamin A are the retinoids. So you may have heard of like retinol, retinal, you know, maybe with your Retin-A products or your topical retinol products. That's a active form of vitamin A. Now the precursor to that are the carotenoids, beta carotene, one of the big ones. So you may have looked on the back of a multivitamin at one point and thought, oh, I'm not getting vitamin A, I have beta carotene. Or you look at the beta carotene at 100,000 IUs and go, oh my gosh, I'm getting way too much vitamin A, right? Beta carotene is the precursor to vitamin A, and it's very safe. It's also what is found in foods, most plant-based foods. Now, retinols and retinoids are found in foods as well, more so in inflammatory meats and dairy, right? Which isn't helping your body. So the best way to get them are from these colorful fruits and vegetables in the form of carotenoids. It's also a lot safer to do it that way. You can get more. Have you guys heard of that? Is this new to you? Okay. Moving my window here. Yeah, no talkers today? So, with our current climate, we often hear a lot about vitamin C right now. Protecting the immune system, finding ways to improve your body's response to viruses, very much in topic right now, right? So we hear about vitamin C a lot. But are you guys looking at all at vitamin A for that function? Vitamin A actually plays a critical role in your immune system. In some ways, similar to vitamin C, but in other ways, quite different. And as you know, our immune system is multifactorial, right? There's multiple things that happen in order to attempt to protect you from an invader. And the invader could be a bacteria, a virus, a parasite, a fungi, a toxin, whatever it may be. Our body has all of these natural, innate mechanisms to help you fight off something that shouldn't be in your body. All of these mechanisms require vitamins and minerals, all of which play a little bit different role in that response, okay? So, vitamin C, as we've talked about, I did a vitamin C live, I have an article on it as well. Vitamin C's primary role in that is as an antioxidant, right? Picking up all those free radicals, right? Now, vitamin A still has that function as well, which I'll talk about, but vitamin A also plays a huge role in the generation of your mucosal surfaces, your pink surfaces in your mouth, nose, lungs, right? Which actually secrete mucus to try to get things out of the way, right? So when you have a cold and all of a sudden your nose and sinus is filled with mucus and you're blowing your nose all day, the purpose is to get it out, right? That's what our body's doing. It's like, get out of here. I don't want you in my body. Get out of here, right? So we have a first line of defense in these mucosal surfaces. Vitamin A plays a huge role in that, and we're going to talk about that, okay? In addition to the antioxidant, okay? As I said earlier, vitamin A basically comes in two forms. I mean, there's multiple steps within these forms. I won't bore you with that biochemistry, but it basically comes in the beta carotene form when you look at supplements, or the retinoid type form, okay? So I usually lean more towards getting a lot of beta carotenes in your diet, okay? It is a fat-soluble vitamin, which it's also metabolized through the liver. So the liver does play a key role in here. So if you don't have a very healthy liver, that can always cause a problem as well. You always want to support the mechanisms that help you convert these vitamins into what they're needed. Now, it can also be a bit toxic, especially to your liver, if you're taking pure vitamin A in a retinol form in too high of dose. I do not recommend that without the supervision of a physician, okay? Most of the supplements on the market are going to be full of beta carotene. They'll say vitamin A, and then they'll have a parenthesis that says as carotenoids or as beta carotene. And the reason they do that is the safety, okay? So, all right. So let's talk about the benefits of vitamin A. Cool? Sound good? You guys with me? Eric, to answer your question, cold sores for supplements, I may save that for my Q&A session, but anything you do to support the immune system is going to help. There's quite a few vitamins and minerals associated with that, amino acids as well. Lysine is one to look at. Okay? All right. So, as I just spoke about, I want to talk a little bit about the immune system today, right? We have quite a climate right now, right? We have a climate of, do we send our kids back to school? How do we protect our bodies? You know, the virus is finding susceptible people. What is it about those people that are having a harder time with this, where the majority of people do not have a problem with this virus, right? It's a minimal amount of people, but it's a really severe impact to those people, right? So talking about the immune system is a big topic, right? Because the healthier the host, the better survival, right? And I believe that all of us can agree with that. No matter what side you're on, it's been pretty much proven that there are pre-existing conditions, there are certain age groups, there's definitely a more compromised host is having a harder time with this virus. So when I look at that from a naturopathic perspective, I say, okay, what can all of us do to improve our own immune system? Because at some point, we're all going to be exposed to this virus if we haven't already been, right? I mean, we are. So how do we do our best to minimize what's going to happen? Vitamin A plays a huge role in this, as well as vitamin C, right? And we've talked a lot about vitamin C. Vitamin C is a key player here. It's actually being used here in the hospitals in Arizona for patients with COVID. But vitamin A also has a really strong indication for a different part of the immune system here, okay? Studies have shown that a vitamin A deficiency, so if you're low in vitamin A, it blocks the normal regeneration of mucosal surfaces. Whoa, Dr. Pingle, mucosal surfaces, back up, right? Mucosal surfaces. Mucosal surfaces protect us from things getting in. So think about where we find this pink tissue here. Inside our mouth, inside our nose, inside our lungs. How do we get things into our lungs? Through our nose and our mouth, right? So there's a reason why we're built with mucosal surfaces to go into the body. Inside the eyes, also mucosal surfaces. So all these things that allow things to penetrate in are coated in mucosal surfaces. Why? Right? Because it's defense. It's a first line of defense for our immune system. When you are presented with an invader, whether it be a toxin, a bacteria, a food you don't agree with, whatever, first thing that happens, mucus develops, right? To try to get it out in a healthy mucosal surface. So for example, a lot of people, when they drink milk, they get a lot of mucus in the back of their throat. Why? Right? The body's reacting to that. The mucosal surfaces are like, no, we don't like this, right? When you get a cold, like I said earlier, you start getting stuff that you're blowing out of your nose. Why? It's a mechanism of getting things out. That barrier in our mucosal surfaces is incredibly important in preventing infection. When we talk about leaky gut, right? When people say, oh, I have a leaky gut, I have food allergies, food intolerances, that's a breakdown of the mucosal surfaces in the gut, because this is all one long tube, right? So if you go through the mouth all the way through to the other end, it's all mucosal surfaces. If you go through the nose, right, into the lungs, it's all mucosal surfaces. Okay, you go into the eyes, into here, these are all mucosal surfaces. Vitamin A is essential to maintain those mucosal surfaces. So once the virus invades the body, the antioxidants become quite important. But someone said Facebook stopped, really? But the mucosal surfaces prevent it from getting in the first place, right? They try to stop it from getting in, okay? So very important part of this. It's one of the first steps of immune function. So if you don't have enough vitamin A in your body to maintain these mucosal surfaces, guess what? You will have more bacterial and viral infections. You will be more affected by smoke in the air. A lot of us here in Arizona are having a hard time right now because California has all these fires, and it's actually moving a lot of smoke into Phoenix. Like, we're actually seeing the impact of that. A lot of people with allergies are having a hard time, right? This is all because it's a toxin trying to get in. And so the body flares up some mucus, makes us a little stuffy, stuffs up our nose, right? And it's because of these toxins coming through into the environment. Studies have shown that a vitamin A deficiency will disrupt the normal lung physiology and increase the risk of severe tissue dysfunction and respiratory illness and disease. What is our pandemic right now? Respiratory illness and disease, okay? So, I've said this multiple times. Do we try to kill the virus? Of course. Do we try to slow the spread? Of course. Slow, not stop. Do we do what we can to try to avoid large gatherings, to do our part, but still go about our life? But the part that's missing, in my opinion, from this treatment plan is proper immune support in a normal functioning body. And it is the reason why I believe certain people are more susceptible. Corey, are you new here? Yeah, only a half a cup of coffee so far. I'm always this hyper. I hope you like it. If not, yeah, you know. So we need to support our body. In fact, studies have shown that consuming vitamin A and foods that support vitamin A support the immune responses in, listen to this, children, elderly, post-surgery patients, and those with parasitic infections. Children and elderly. What's our number one concern right now? Kids going back to school and the elderly having a serious reaction. The two demographics that we're debating over that nobody can come up with a solution for are impacted by proper nutrition. Okay? Just take that with you. By the way, for those that are new here, I'm not taking sides. Look, I'm a physician that says I'm going to educate you, and you need to decide what's best for your family. If you don't feel comfortable sending your kids to school, don't. If you have people in your family that are high risk and you don't feel comfortable, going places, don't. All we can do is provide the education and let you make the best educated choice for you. That's what I'm talking about here. I don't want you guys to take this as if I'm one-sided or I'm not paying attention to the devastation of what's happening to some people. That's exactly what I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention to who is having a more severe issue, and I'm talking about ways that we can improve our bodies to avoid that scenario, okay? It's not quick. It takes time. But guess what? This virus isn't going anywhere. It's going to be here, okay? So we have time. We have time to improve our bodies. We have time to improve our health. Diet and vitamins are very, very important to the immune system. Vitamin A is one that needs to be considered. Yes, Corey, vitamin A, vitamin D, and C, and I will also add zinc, to that list. Zinc, which I'm going to be doing a live on soon. Zinc helps activate the T cells, makes the T cells more reactive to infection right away. Vitamin A works on the mucosal surfaces as well as an antioxidant. Vitamin D has multiple impacts to the immune system. Vitamin C, also antioxidant. In fact, those with low vitamin D levels are seeming to have more severe infections with COVID than ones who don't. So these are all things that matter, right? Guess what, guys? You get all this from food, right? From good, healthy diet, exercise, diet, supplementation if you need to in the meantime. This is all stuff you can do at home. You don't have to pay anyone to do it. You can actually do it by yourself and improve your body over time, which makes you less and less susceptible to a severe infection, which gives us a greater chance of herd immunity and getting through this virus, okay? For those of you that don't like what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I recognize there's a lot of fear out there. And as many of you know, I don't like to buy into fear. I like to buy into education and personal choice and figuring out what's best for you. So let's move on. So we've learned how vitamin A affects the immune system. Very important. Number 2, anti-inflammatory properties. Not only does it help these mucosal surfaces, it also lowers inflammation. Now think about this. Think back to that example I just gave where you drink milk and it inflames the back of the throat, right? This helps control that. Mucosal surfaces do play a role in inflammation. In fact, the studies show that if you have adequate levels of vitamin A, your immune system will not overreact. It will react, but not overreact. Now, what's another concern? I'm sorry, there's a lot of COVID today, huh? Lots of concerns right now with this virus, with cytokine storm, with overreactive immune system causing respiratory distress. If you have the nutrients there to avoid that, it helps. Okay? Will it stop it in all cases? No. Will it help? Yes. Right? If you have proper nutrition, it will help. It reduces the odds, okay, of a severe reaction. These are all peer-reviewed studies, by the way, guys. I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere, okay? I link them in the article. But there was a 2017 review where several studies showed that consuming carotenoids, which is beta-carotene, which is your bright, fruits and vegetables, reduced systemic inflammation in young infants, as well as neuroinflammation in people who had brain injuries. That's pretty cool, right? I think that's cool. Furthermore, they found that vitamins A positive effects on both the immune system and the integrity of epithelial tissues, which is basically all our cells lining up. Tissue that protects your organs, your blood vessels, all of that are the main mechanisms for preventing disease. Now, going back to COVID again, what's another place it impacts? The cardiovascular system. Guess what, guys? Vitamin A plays a role in epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is involved in the cardiovascular system. It circles our organs, our arteries, all of these things, okay? We have to give the nutrients to our body so that our body can protect us from this type of thing, okay? Rosa, am I going to have a multivitamin supplement? Yes, ma'am. My first rollout of supplements should be here by next week. The first rollout doesn't have a full multivitamin. It does have a mineral, a really, really strong mineral that is great. And then I have another multivitamin that honestly, I will roll it out as fast as things. If you guys are interested and you guys are buying the line and they're working for you, I will continue to add products to it very rapidly. One of which is a multivitamin that also has a high level of antioxidants to assist with this type of thing. So yes, Rosa, bear with me. But I do have a mineral coming out first, and it's great. It's a great start to it all as well. Okay? All right. Number 3, you guys may have heard of. Vitamin A supports eye health. But do you know why? A lot of us say eat carrots, support your eyes, right? Because carrots are high in vitamin A. But why? Let's talk about why. So as we age, our bodies begin to deteriorate. And this includes our eyesight. Okay? You can actually benefit your eyes by eating a diet rich in carotenoids and getting higher vitamin A levels, okay? Night blindness is actually one of the first signs of vitamin A deficiency, okay? Why? I'll come back to that question about the supplements. Hang tight there. Why? Vitamin A is a fundamental component of a pigment that's found in our retina called rhodopsin. And that pigment is very sensitive to light. So when you don't have enough vitamin A, you don't have that pigment that makes you sensitive to light, and it causes problems. Okay? Makes sense? I'm going to come back to eyes, but asking about the supplements, what makes my supplement line different? My supplement line has no fillers, no gluten, no animal products, no dyes, no junk in it. It is, I swear it is artificial, filler-free. And I will have the website up for that in a sec. Probably within, I don't know if by the end of the week, but next week. So I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah. Gluten-free, dairy-free, they're not full of fillers at all. Not to mention the other way that they're beneficial to you is they're actually the forms of the vitamins and minerals that absorb, because a lot of the vitamins that you buy use cheap forms that have to be converted in the body, and the body, if it's under stress, won't convert it. So these are actually active forms, the forms that your body will actually metabolize, use, and make bioavailable. So that's the other reason why they're great. I hope that helps. All right. So another eyesight concern, macular degeneration. As you get older, there's a lot of age-related macular degeneration that is worsened by these free radicals that float around, right? So oxidative stress causes damage to the cells in your eyes that speeds up the process of macular degeneration. Researchers have found that vitamin A will act as an antioxidant, reduce oxidative stress, soothe eye inflammation, and slow down the progression of macular degeneration. Also, vitamin A has been found to fight dry eyes. Now, dry eyes are very common, and particularly with you guys out there that have autoimmune diseases where your eyes are just chronically dry, vitamin A has some great research on that, with not only improving the quality of the tears, but making the eyes more lubricated. Okay? Thank you, Corey. I appreciate it. I will not stop. You guys share away. Go for it. Thank you for all your comments. Okay, number 4. We talked earlier about mucosal tissues. I'm going to come back to that a little bit here because we're going to talk about environmental toxins. So, huge area of medicine, right? We talk about environmental toxins in, oh my gosh, anything from our food to vaccines to the air to, whatever. But the bottom line is we have an ability to block that. We have an ability to protect ourselves from toxins, and this is through these mucosal tissues we just finished talking about. So vitamin A plays a huge role in this regeneration of those mucosal barriers. It cannot eliminate it altogether. Obviously, toxins are still going to get in, but it can help you try to get them out before they cause too much of a toxic level. Okay, there was a 2019 review where researchers found that both vitamins A and vitamin D help to block environmental toxins by regulating the gut microbial system, so all those healthy bugs in your gut, barrier function, which is that mucosal barrier we've been talking about, and mucosal immune response, meaning how fast does it respond, how much mucus does it produce, how quickly does it get to the problem. Vitamin A impacted all of those, okay? The purpose of these little pink tissues that are the inputs of where everything goes is to help prevent it from getting in, right? Producing mucus and getting it out, right? Why do you think when we get pneumonia, we get a productive cough, bronchitis? It's trying to get something out. Wants the bug out of there, right? It's a protective mechanism. Okay? Very, very important. Now, number 5, we all love, probably not too much of a surprise, but it slows the aging process. I think, and I don't want to limit this to women, I know men use retinols as well, but most of us know that if you use a topical retinol of some sort, it reduces wrinkles, right? It's a very common thing in acne treatment, right? Retin A. The problem is when you give it in the retinol form, it can be toxic. So you do have to be careful with these types of applications, okay? So beta carotenoids are always a great addition, especially in teens who do have acne, because it gives them the vitamin A without being toxic as well. But most of us know if you rub it on wrinkles and stuff, they get less and less. This has absolutely been proven in research. Why? Because the vitamin A stimulates new skin cell production. So it sloughs off, you'll see sloughing off of the old skin, rebuilding of the new skin, okay? It also protects against the breakdown of collagen, and collagen is what keeps our skin elastic, okay? So you can lower your wrinkles, you can reduce or increase collagen production, keeping the skin more hydrated as well. So it's great for skin health. Lastly, once again, I feel like we've talked about this a lot this week, or last week and this week, bone health. Vitamin A supports your bones. Now we've talked about, and I've talked about, I know last week I was talking about how calcium is not the solution to bone health. It's a part, it's not the solution. Overloading your body with calcium doesn't do what you need it to do. What's important in bone health are all these other minerals and vitamins that go into the maintenance of bone, okay? Vitamin A actually goes into the building of bone and the breakdown of bone. So the dosage of it is very, very important. You don't want to go too high, you don't want to go too low, but you want it to be part of your everyday vitamins and minerals. In addition to those wonderful things we've talked about for bone health, vitamin K, manganese, boron, strontium, silica, magnesium, all of these things that actually help build up our bone with calcium, okay? Those of you just taking a calcium supplement alone for bone health, I caution you, might not be the right answer. Talk to your doctor, do research on it, okay? There was a 2017 meta-analysis that had over 300,000 participants. So this was a huge sample size, okay? Where they found that those that had a higher intake of vitamin A decreased their risk of fracturing bone. Crazy, okay? Now, there is some, if you're getting the vitamin A from inflammatory animal products, from red meats and dairy, there's actually the alternate viewpoint that may actually cause bone loss. So actually, these studies actually looked more at beta carotene and looking at plant-based sources of vitamin A as a better alternative, okay? They began to believe that the inactive form of vitamin A, which is beta carotene, is actually more protective to the bones than actual vitamin A. Pretty interesting finding there that they were able to differentiate. Can you get enough vitamin A in foods like carrots and yams, or are supplements needed? You know what? You can absolutely get your nutrition from your diet if your digestion is working well, right? So I talk a lot. I don't know if I think I've seen your name in my lives before. But I talk a lot about stress. So if there's a lot of stress on the body, the digestion is poor, sometimes you have to use supplements. But typically beta carotene is so widely available in multiple plants that if you're eating a lot of plants in your diet and rotating all those colorful plants, you're likely getting a very good amount of beta carotene, okay? And that's what's great about it. You can get vitamin A from foods. It's one that you can. And then most multivitamins also include beta carotenes in them as well. The majority of them do. So, I use vitamin A when sick. Now, obviously, I'm a physician. I know what to give myself. I know what to give my kids. But there is a lot of benefit there as well. How hard is it for people to convert plants to active vitamin A? Not overly hard, actually. Kind of depends on the general overall body, right? If you have a lot of digestive issues, you have a lot of bloating, you have heartburn, you have trouble breaking stuff down, you may have a harder time converting, but a lot of it happens in the liver, so liver health matters as well. But this one isn't too bad to convert. Beta carotenes are pretty successful at that. So unlike we've talked about folate before, and how many people genetically do not convert folic acid into activated folate well. I haven't found that with beta carotene. Beta carotene converts fairly well to vitamin A. So you can also get your levels checked too through specialized nutritional testing. Okay. Symptoms of being overdosed to vitamin A. Yeah, I think the primary one, headache for sure. I would definitely watch vitamin A. Now you don't find the overdose with beta carotene other than turning a little bit, your skin will turn orange. Right? So if your skin starts turning orange or yellow, back off a little bit on the beta carotene, but it's not necessarily a dangerous situation in that. I mean, it's overloading the liver, so you should back off a little bit. True vitamin A retinols, yes, you can absolutely get toxic effects from that. I believe headache was the most common, but there are multiple effects. And I would be very, very careful with using pure vitamin A or retinols without a doctor's supervision. I definitely recommend have a doctor on board for that. It will absolutely help if used correctly in the right dose. It can do wonders on an immune system if it's used correctly. I would definitely lean to a naturopath, functional medicine doctor, or somebody trained in nutritional medicine exclusively to guide you on how and when to take pure vitamin A. because there is definitely a technique to it, and if the person is educated in it, it is incredibly valuable. For those on the layman side of it, haven't worked with pure vitamin A a lot, I would lean towards beta carotene. Okay, it's just safer. Okay, does that help? So just to review, right? We had 6 things that vitamin A does that you may or may not know. Number 1, supports your immune health. How? Fixing these mucosal tissues that keep things from getting in. Number 2, contains anti-inflammatory properties, so it avoids that massive overreaction of the immune system. Number 3, supports your eye health, okay? And oddly enough, that's also a mucosal tissue, right? So makes sense. Number 4, helps block those environmental toxins. Same reason. How do environmental toxins get in, folks? They do get through the skin. Some that argue so that vitamin A is not necessarily in that one. Through the eyes, through the nose, through the mouth, right? That's how they get in. So vitamin A helps stop that. Number 5, slows the aging process by regenerating skin cells, okay? Supports bone health in conjunction with all of these other wonderful vitamins and minerals that are involved in bone health. So, did you guys learn something today? Was it a good live for you? Many of you were asking about my supplement line. So psyched. They're actually in the mail, on the way. So I'm gonna get the website up so that you guys can order. I so appreciate your support. So many of you come back every day and I see these common names and questions and I'm so humbled by it. Thank you for making these lives work. These don't work without you. If you guys weren't interested in finding them helpful, I wouldn't be here. So thank you so much. I did have a question on, someone said Eminence products. I love Eminence products. Love them. I use them as well. Absolutely. Love them. I love their like beaded scrubs. What is it? The rhubarb microexfoliant. Love that. Okay. So the supplements, watch drpingle.com. You know I'm going to do an announcement when they come out, but they are almost here. And there will be 7 in the first lineup. If you guys are buying them and finding them helpful, I promise you, I have another 5 or 6 right behind them, ready to go. Just want to make sure that you guys are interested in them, and that you're finding them as helpful as I have and as my patients have all these years. So, all right, I'm gonna take a couple more questions and then I gotta bail because my kids are in school and I got things to do. If I can ask, what is your morning routine? Because I love your vibe and energy. Aw, thanks. I get up fairly early, usually around 6:15. I make myself a cup of coffee. I turn on music. I'm very music driven. So sometimes I'll put on classical music. Sometimes I'll put on like singer-songwriter, something that just kind of gives me an uplifting mood. Often if the kids aren't up yet, my husband rides, he's a cyclist, so he rides early in the morning. So most of the time it's fairly quiet. If my kids aren't up yet, I, wipe down the kitchen counter. I kind of walk around and pick stuff up. I just kind of let my body wake up slowly and naturally. And then pop over here to my home office, start prepping for this live and jump right in. I do most of my exercises usually in the later part of the day. I'm not a morning exerciser. I want to get up and just kind of chill, I do think positive energy, gratitude, focusing on the positive things that are going on in your life do help. There are times that I focus on negativity and I have to pull myself out of that cycle because it just doesn't help us or help you guys at all. So I also look forward to being here with you and that makes me chipper. So I hope you come back and watch. I'm here Monday through Friday around 9:15 Arizona time, which at the moment is Pacific Standard Time. In the fall, it'll be Mountain Standard Time. Does vitamin A absorb well enough when eaten without oil? And is there a difference between carrots equal boiled or fresh? Fresh will always have a higher component, but I don't discourage people from cooking vegetables as well. To me, the more vegetables you get in, the better. I just want you eating them, And yes, it can absorb without oil because it's a fat-soluble vitamin itself. So it can absorb. As long as your absorption of fats is adequate, there's no reason why it can't. I'm interested in if they are clean, toxin-free. My supplements? Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I think it's ma'am. Sorry. I can kind of see your... Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. Allergen-free, gluten-free, plant-based. Yeah, no concerns there at all. If I won't put it in my body, I'm not going to recommend it to you. That's it. If I won't give it to my kids or my family, I'm not going to sell it to any of you. There is no way. And I've always been that way with my patients as well. If I don't believe in it wholeheartedly, I will not recommend it. These supplements that are coming out are well studied. I have a lot of informational facts on them. You'll see it on the website. You can read all about them. You'll know exactly what's in them. Nothing makes me more upset than when I have to hunt to see what's in them, like what the capsule's made of and all that. These will be very clear. Everything is on the label. Check out drpingle.com. I'm being asked about my website, drpingle.com. The supplement store with my line of supplements is not linked there yet, but it will in the next few days. Okay? So just stand by. But you can follow drpingle.com. You can sign up for the email list. I do send out, announcements. If there's a special on supplements, I'll send that through the email list. So please sign up for the email list at drpingle.com. I will also announce it once it's live here on Facebook and Instagram. I promise, and it will be in the next few days. I would say by early next week, okay? So just keep a lookout. I will absolutely keep you posted. Thank you so much for your interest. First of all, thank you guys. Like I said, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So if you guys are liking the supplements and you really want a different supplement, I do have plans. I have a multivitamin, I have a liver support, an antiviral that are also on the second rollout if you guys are interested in that. So let's get the first rollout going. And if you guys are showing interest, I'll add more, I promise, and I will take suggestions for what's the popular interest. I'd like to move more into gut health as well. So there's a lot on the docket. I have a list of probably 30 supplements all ready to go. It's just an issue of rolling them out. Okay? Pingle. Yes, sir. P-I-N-G-E-L. The website is Dr. Pingle, drpingel.com. It's from my profile on Instagram. It's also on my profile on Facebook. So you guys should be good to go. Will the supplement be one you can take at night, or will they have anything that wakes you up? Yes, I have both. I have one that wakes you up and one that puts you to sleep as well. I do have an adrenal line coming out, so it's 2 adrenal supplements. I'll review. You guys are interested. You're asking me questions. I'll tell you. So there is an adrenal support for waking the body up in the morning. There's an adrenal support for calming it down at night. Okay? There's a methylated B vitamin complex. Methylated means they're activated. They actually already in active form. Your body doesn't have to do anything. Methylated B vitamin. There's a highly absorbable mineral. I have a highly absorbable zinc, which will come in handy for our current climate. A very great probiotic that is not only shelf stable, but has Saccharomyces boulardii in it, which gives you additional protections to your gut. It's a multi-strain probiotic. And a curcumin, anti-inflammatory. So that is, did I get 7 there? I think I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think so. That's all of them coming out. And then in the second rollout, I have an antiviral, I have an antioxidant multivitamin, I have a liver support, and I have more anxiety, depression driven, as well as some gut mucosal surface type stuff on the lineup. So just keep watching, support me, and I promise I will support you. I promise I'll throw it back at you, and I'll educate you the best that I can so that you can talk to your doctor about what's the best protocol for you and be fully educated and armed when you go into that office visit. So thank you guys. You guys have been awesome today. I will see you tomorrow. I may do a Q&A tomorrow. It will either be tomorrow or Friday. So if you have more questions, please have them handy. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll do the Q&A tomorrow or Friday, but it will be one of those days, okay? So, and I'll announce it in my story ahead of time so you know what day it is. Otherwise, it'll be another topic on some health topic that hopefully will interest you as well. Thanks again for your time. I'm Dr. Tricia Pingle. This is your morning checkup. If you're new, a lot of you are new today, welcome. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.